Alright, this is a level 1 class for my arrangement of Let Her Go. Let's begin by placing the capo in the 7th fret, and you should tune string 6 a half tone higher. With the aid of a tuner, which I have on my headstock over here, that gives me a C, E, A, D, F sharp, and B. Again, I always tune with the capo in place. Moving now to our introduction, I'm first going to just present the melody without any bass notes. So our introduction, we're going to break it down into 4 smaller melodic ideas. The first 3 are quite similar. We begin each of these melodies with that little group there, which is, notice I'm putting my first finger in the 1st fret on string 2. I'm going to kind of leave that there. Using my 4th finger to play all these 3rd frets. There's our first 4 notes with the 3rd finger, or 3rd fret rather, up string 1 and then the pull. Now we finish off with a hammer on string 3. Play that a few times. I'm using my fingers here, because my thumbs later are going to be playing some bass notes. So what's going to change now from one melody to the next is kind of how each one concludes. Here's our first melody. Concluded with the 2nd fret on string 3 and the open string 1. Move now into our 2nd phrase. That time our conclusion was open string 1 and the 3rd fret on string 2. Now our 3rd phrase. That's pretty much exactly like the first one, with 2 notes added, the 3rd fret pulled to the open string. And now our final phrase, just 3 notes, hammer from the 1st fret up to the 3rd fret and open string 1. We put it all together with okay, and that is the A intro as labeled in our notation below. Moving on to the B intro, we're going to take all of that information and throw in some bass notes. Our first bass note with our hammer on string number 3 is going to be string 6 here. So we have, okay, moving into our 2nd phrase, we're going to throw a bass note with our pickup notes here, holding that to the 2nd fret with my 2nd finger and playing our, that time we have open string 5 with our hammer, and again back on our conclusion with that 2nd fret, open string 6 with the hammer, 2nd fret with the hammer up, conclude with open string 5. A lot of information here, but first phrase, 2nd phrase, 3rd phrase, and our conclusion. Still a very satisfying sound, and much easier than what's presented in the performance video, where I'm doing more of a thumb style alternating bass. You know, that really is a driving kind of technique. But what I just played there is, has most of the elements that you need to play the introduction, and it sounds pretty good. Now moving on, I've presented the chords here. We've got an F to a C, a G, and an A minor. Now these chords are played a little differently because of our tuning. Like, for example, the F is played as this 1st fret, 2nd, and 3rd fret with open string 6. To a C, and our G is played with the 2nd finger playing the 2nd fret on the top here, and an A minor. Okay, those chords are going to be used throughout, as well as an E minor chord a little later. But our melody for the chorus, we have the F, and we're going to alternate between strings 2 and 3 here. Now that kind of sounds odd because I didn't resolve to the next chord, but that's what happens over the F. Hold and onto the C chord, You'll recognize that melody from our introduction. We have the 2nd fret on the bass, and our 4th finger playing the 3rd fret. Again, that's kind of happening throughout this entire arrangement. You could hold the grip and just comes down to this hand into an A minor. Again, that melody with the pickup. Here's what happens over the F next. So some pulls from the 3rd fret there on string 2, and then our 2nd fret pull. Nothing happening over the C. Onto our G. Okay, and again, very sparse, very bare bones, but it still has most of the elements we're looking for a fingerstyle arrangement. Moving on to the verse, which is, I'm going to apply the same concept here. Melody and very sparse bass movement. Over an A minor, we don't even really need to hold the grip because most of this is open string. We're going to go. This is open string number 1, and my bass played right on the very first beat there. We got 1. Do the pull with your pinky, and then get your F in the bass. Over to our G grip, again the same 2 fingers, 2nd and 4th. Here's the E minor chord. Now be careful when you play the E minor chord. I've always labeled it as an E minor / B because we no longer have this open string as an E because of the tuning, so you can't hit that string. It's a really nasty sound if you do. So I always play from string 5 down for the E minor chord. So let's put this in context. We got the A minor to the F, open string on the F, to the G, E minor. Watch that finger grabbing the pinky grabbing that 3rd fret there. A minor again, F, and the G concluding. The song kind of alternates between the verses and the chorus. There is kind of a bridge pattern in there and some strumming, but I've presented most of the melodic ideas within this level 1 class. Obviously level 2 takes it beyond that and presents what's done in the performance video, but there's still enough information here to do a very nice fingerstyle arrangement. Thanks.